Calling to order the first meeting, well, actually not the first meeting, the second meeting of 2023, January 23rd. And Kevin got the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Jimmy?
Our Heavenly Father, we come before you one more time, and again, thank you so much for the town. We thank you so much for the privilege to serve it. We ask you to be with us tonight, lead and guide us in all ways. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right, roll call.
William Ellis.
Here.
Trevor Sager.
Here.
Scott Oldham.
Here.
Pamela Samples.
Here.
Dan Swafford.
All right. First on the agenda is Board of Zoning Appeals. I get to make an appointment with the term ending in 2025, and I would like to appoint Travis Conyer. And Travis, want to say just a word or two to everybody?
Thank you very much, William. My name is Travis, husband to Noel, you all know. I'm a maintenance engineer, been doing it for about 30 years in asset protection. It's what I've been doing for a long time. Anything that I do that I have the capacity to offer in terms of service, I'm very happy to do, and thankful and humble to do that.
Thank you. Make sure you get your contact information to Denise and Sandy before everybody leaves tonight.
Okay.
Okay? Thanks. All right, approval of minutes for the regular meeting and work session, January 9th, 2023.
So moved. Second.
William Ellis.
Yes.
Trevor Sager.
Yes.
Scott Oldham.
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Action to pay accounts payable, vouchers, and payroll.
So moved.
Second.
William Ellis.
Yes.
Trevor Sager.
Yes.
Scott Oldham.
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
These are the highlights of being on the council, something like this. School resource officer promotion. Jimmy?
Alec, if you're ready to come up, please. Good evening. I bring tonight to your consideration for Alec Ledgill to be promoted to sergeant. Of course, we know he's our current SRO officer before, or still school resource officer. Before that, he was employed by the Indiana University Police Department, and he worked the street for us here for several years. He is a graduate of Indiana University with a bachelor's degree of science and public affairs. He graduated with a 4.0 grade point average, so fantastic for him. He is a member of the Basic SRO Association, International Mountain Bike Association, Crime School Prevention, Emergency Vehicle Instructor, and an advanced instructor. And he's also an ALICE instructor. So I bring to you tonight Alec Ledgill, and as soon as Dr. Sanders has a little bit to say about him, we'll present him for promotion.
Good evening. One thing that I really love about Ellettsville, the town of Ellettsville, the Ellettsville Police Department, and Richland Bean Blossom Schools is that we easily attract the very best. We're very lucky to have great people who serve our community in a variety of ways, and Alec would certainly be described as one of the best. And so I'm very honored to be here tonight, and would like to wish Alec congratulations.
After consideration, I'd like to wait after the vote, if you would. I'll present him with his badge, but I'm presenting to you Alec Ledgill tonight to be promoted to a sergeant with the Ellettsville Police Department.
Wait a minute. When did payroll start?
When did payroll start? Today's the first day of a new pay period.
Okay. That way we don't have to backdate it.
So we have any council discussion on this? Or comments, I should say, maybe. All right.
And move that we promote Alec Leggio to the rank of sergeant effective immediately.
Second.
All right, Sandy?
William Ellis,
Heck, yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
and Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
I am very excited to be in this new role. There was a third shift sergeant position open. We are a small department, and it had crossed my mind to apply for that before this was open. And then Jimmy posted this job one day and just tickled to death. So I'm really anxious to get started. There are two people in the room I'd like to thank besides my wife for being with me along this journey. My dad back there, he's my mentor. He's been with me every step of the way. Before I submitted my application and resume, I had Dad look at it just to make sure I'd crossed my T's and dotted my I's. And then Glenn Harris back there, he's a family friend. He was my first boss. I worked for him from 14 up until I went to the police academy. And Glenn mentored me all through that time. So those are just two very special people. I'd like to say thank you. And Mom. So, thank you guys very much.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate your support.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to resolutions. Resolution 28-2022 to accept a gift from Ellettsville Senior Citizens Housing Incorporated. Who has this? B? Jimmy? Okay. Yes.
Okay. I had several conversations last week. I was gone last week. We had several conversations with Hillary Hinrich. I can't pronounce her last name.
Oh, Heidenrich.
Heinrich, okay. And they were not ready to sign the MOU yet, so they're I'm sorry, that's not what we're talking about.
The resolution for the log cabin. Log cabin.
The resolution for the log cabin. We're ready to sign it, right? I'm sorry, yeah. The log cabin has been,
It's okay. You just had a very emotional high right here, so that's very understandable.
the log cabin is ready to be gifted.
Yes.
Ready to be gifted to the town of Ellettsville, and we appreciate your support. This has been an ongoing thing with me anyway for all the time since I've been on the Senior Citizen Board. They've been wanting to move it back to the town, which originally the town, I think, owned it years ago, or was.
They moved it here.
Yeah, so, yeah, Morse Enright moved it in 1966, Greene County, or had it moved. So, I'm sorry for the confusion.
That's all right.
I thought we were on the sports. The sports.
Not yet.
But
We'll
yeah,
get- we'll get
I
there.
appreciate your support on that.
All right. Any public, first of all, council discussion on this? Any public comment on it? Seeing none, council action?
Move we adopt Resolution 28-2022, accepting a gift from Ellettsville Senior Citizens Housing Incorporated.
Second.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. Ordinance is on first reading. Ordinance 2023-01 to create a fund for evidence money.
This was tabled from the last meeting. Since it was tabled, I
Yeah.
left it on there. I don't know where it stands.
I would move we table this yet again. There was a couple forms yet that we need to sort for Jimmy before we can
Okay.
go down the road there.
I mean, is it gonna go a totally different route? I mean,
No.
okay, all right,
It'll be a fork in the road. We'll go to the left.
okay.
Then will the next time it be on the second reading then to pass, or will we?
Won't matter one way or another.
I think we'd need to keep it on the first,
Okay.
since it's been tabled
It's
twice.
pretty basic, so
Is there council action on that then?
I'd move to table.
Second.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Saker,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
Pamela Samples,
Yes.
motion carries.
Seeing no ordinances on the second reading, Mike, anything with the flood report to update?
No, not really. I think we have a timetable to put out for bid the flood mediation project, and opening maybe late March. So by then, we're cutting some trees down on the town property now in preparation of the properties behind the houses that run along South Street. We're going to be cutting trees there too, but we need to get our easements in place first and bid out the project. We'll probably let some professionals with better equipment than we have to cut those trees. They're rather large and tall. But we are doing some work down.
So professional lumberjacks.
Well,
Yeah.
more
Yes, all right.
professionally equipped, I should
There you go. All right. Envision Ellettsville update.
Tomorrow, we're going to have our first real meeting of the task forces, and they are, Business Task Force will meet from 10 to 11 tomorrow. The Connectivity Task Force will meet from 1 to 2, and the Gathering Task Force will meet from 3 to 4. And Haley Rourke from Taylor Group is sending out All Things Ellettsville, an update, a monthly update. If any of you are not getting that, let me know, and I'll make sure you get on the email list, but you should all be getting it. And that is a summation of what's going on the past month and the next month. But if anybody wants to be on any of these task forces, why, please let us know. And again, that's the first three are the business, the connectivity, and the gathering, and they're meeting tomorrow here at the town hall.
Now, are those the full task forces that are meeting, or just like the executives of the task force?
No, this is anybody that signed up for it.
Because I've never gotten an email on that, and I've signed up for one of them. Has any of the council gotten emails for any of the task force?
I did. Which one did you sign up?
Business?
It's tomorrow at 10.
I know, it's, yeah. Yeah, I never got anything on that.
You haven't gotten, has
No.
anybody, raise your hand if you have gotten something.
I have.
I've gotten stuff, yeah.
I've gotten stuff, but not on the task force meetings, on who was on it, or any, I've gotten the update, the overview of what, but not those dates.
Anybody else not getting it? Scott, you're not getting it?
Dan,
Okay.
if you'd add me to that, I appreciate it.
You're going to be on the supervisor list.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Okay,
I can't make tomorrow's, but I'll definitely put on my calendar for the next one.
okay. I'll make sure you get on that list. Are you getting the All Things Ellettsville update?
Yes.
Okay. I think that it was in there also.
Well, I think I'm getting that one.
I'm pretty sure it was in there also, but I'll make sure you're, those of you who are not on there will get it. Any questions? Anybody? Okay, thank you.
I'm not getting that one either.
You're not getting All Things Ellettsville?
No.
Okay.
All right. New business, agreement between the town of Ellettsville and Bynum Faneuil Utilities LLC, water, wastewater.
Pursuant to the discussion we had at the last town council meeting, I siphoned off the town manager language and position and salary from the agreement between Bynum Faneuil and the town for sewer services and put the town manager in a separate agreement. So I made no changes whatsoever to the agreement between the town and Bynum Faneuil for sewer plant services. That's exactly what you saw at the last meeting, other than to take out the portion about the town manager.
Council discussion? Public comment? Back to council action?
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement between the town of Ellettsville and Bynum Faneuil Utilities LLC for water and wastewater services.
Second, sorry.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
Pamela Samples,
Yes.
motion carries.
And next we have the agreement, which is kind of part two of this one, between the town of Ellettsville and Mike Farmer for town manager.
In the language in the contract, it states in relevant part that the town has an agreement with Bynum Faneuil for Michael Farmer to provide town manager services, and the contract states that only Michael Farmer shall serve as town manager unless otherwise approved by the council. His job description and the services that are to be provided to the town are those listed in the town's ordinance 2014-02, which I think mimics exactly the Indiana code for town managers. Bynum Faneuil will be paid $3,750 per month with raises at 3% at a minimum or the consumer price index rate. He's an independent contractor. He's not an employee. Bynum Faneuil is going to be responsible for maintaining workers' compensation and his benefits. And the rest of it is just payment terms, insurance that Bynum Faneuil is required to maintain, which is exactly the same language as in the agreement with regard to the sewer plant. I did think about and tried to include an evergreen clause, and I just didn't think it would work given the town code and the Indiana code, because as we discussed at the last meeting, a town manager is limited to a definite tenure not to exceed the longest remaining term in office of a member of the legislative body. So basically, I think it will have to the contract will have to be reapproved every 4 years as a practical matter.
Any council discussion on this?
What?
Any council action?
Move we approve the agreement between the town of Ellettsville and Mike Farmer for town manager through Bynum Faneuil Utilities LLC.
I'll second.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
Pamela Samples,
Yes.
motion carries.
All right, MOU between the town of Ellettsville, the Ellettsville Department of Parks and Recreation, and Ellettsville Youth Sports Table. Okay.
Talking to the committee on this, they had a few very minor concerns. They're going to get that to Darla supposedly today. Darla, did that happen?
It did not as of the time I left to come over here, so that was
I'll recontact them.
right at 6.
Make sure Darla drew the MOU up. It looked okay, obviously, to her, and it looked okay to me. But they wanted a few changes in the verbiage, I think, and what we called their committees and things like that. It's very minor, so I don't think it's going to be any problem when we get it back. So I'd like to ask that to be tabled.
Move to table.
Second.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
Pamela Samples,
Yes.
motion carries.
Privilege of the floor. Any public comments on any items? Seeing none, supervisor comments.
Yeah, go
first, I just want to say thanks for the vote of confidence. Obviously, in Ellettsville, there's rapid movement, and we plan on to continue the same high-level services we've given in the past 27 years. So appreciate the vote. Thank you.
The only thing I've got is we did meet with Indiana Voice and Data to look at the sound system here. We did find a problem, and so far we're not hearing the popping and cracking, so that took care of that. But obviously we're still having an issue with the AV, getting it from the computer, you know, up to the monitors. And he believes he knows what issue is there, so he's checking to see if they can warranty the item we have. If not, we're gonna go a different route. There'll be a little cost to it, but should be minimal.
Okay, thank you. You know, back to Mike, and then.
Okay, thank you for approving the contract tonight. I appreciate it. I'd just like to mention that there is some activity on Vine Street. I see Carl in the audience, so we're moving forward, and anytime we're working down there from now on, it's a step forward in some flood mitigation that's been long awaited. So, as I said before, we're looking at a bid letting at maybe the 27th meeting in March, and if not, then it'd be a few weeks later that we would do it. There are still some DNR permitting that we would need, and so we probably wouldn't be able to get started on it until late May or June anyway, as far as actual excavation. Talked to a couple of contractors that's interested in a job, and they're local, and I think that we might be able to get some pretty good prices, hopefully, when we bid this out. So that's going to be going on, you know, for the rest of the year, 3 to 6 months to complete it, so it should be done by the end of 24 at the latest. So that's encouraging for me. Stewart Park, I don't know if anybody's seen the rendering that we've received from the Taylor Group that kind of looks like it's conceptual of what we think Stewart Park will look like sometime in the future, and with the grant that Denise received on behalf of the town, we can start work on the barn, and then that's going to kind of be the centerpiece, and from there parking and retaining wall, and then the NLT grant that we also are starting this year, probably around June. So that will provide the first trail that will go through the Stewart Park, so there'll be quite a bit of activity down there as well. Community crossing grant, we're going to do that again this year, and so we'll have some more streets paved by the end of the year. We're doing park upgrades at Campbell's Park. We have another array of park equipment to put down there that will enhance kid activity when they're down in that area. And then we have several more pieces of park equipment to come to finish up what will be a complete park here next to the town hall. Between that and a couple of large-scale water projects that we're going to do this year, we're going to have a pretty busy year. So I'm pretty excited about actually working out in the field, and everybody will be active for the rest of the year. So it's a pretty aggressive list. That's just some of the things we're going to do. And then we have to do the daily as well. So the crews are going to be real busy, and I'm real excited about it. So just thought I'd mention it.
Jimmy?
I think I'm good. Denise, what'd you tell me today about moving the cabin? Probably July?
August.
August. We're going to move that cabin up here, so we're looking forward to getting that up here and getting that set up. So.
We have a lot of coaches.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, we'll probably put out an email when we do it, because it'll be quite a sight to have the log cabin coming up Main Street. So we've had a few houses float down Vine Street, but we've never had anything going out Main Street. So this will be a dry,
first, yeah.
exciting event.
All right. Jay, you're good? All right, Denise.
I don't have anything.
Sandy.
I don't have anything.
All right. Anything from any council members?
Yeah, I do. I want to renew a discussion, kind of couples in with some of the things we're talking about here.
We talked a couple months ago about First and Ritter, about making that a four-way stop due to some sightline issues, and quite frankly, some of the traffic issues that are good, but troublesome because of the school when it lets out. Thoughts on that?
I know a four-way stop, I've never been interested in a four-way stop, but,
Bunch of near misses there, I know that for a fact. Because, again, particularly in the mornings, because of the way the sight lines are built up.
there, yeah.
I mean, unless you want to do something else there, I don't know
I
that
think that's probably what we need to go.
there's not enough property for a roundabout or anything like that.
Is there already first, four-way at First in Association, right?
I believe that's
Yeah.
a four-way, yes.
Yes, there is, come down by the school, right there. Yeah, that is four-way, so we just do another one right up the hill, yeah.
Kip and myself looked into that, and he's really wanting to do that, and I feel the same way. A lot of the police officers have talked about wanting to do that as well, so I definitely think that's a good route to go.
I do suggest we put up signage in advance to remind people of the different.
We can get some of the flashing lights, the temporary
Yeah.
flashing lights that go with it. Darla, what's the exact process for that? Can we just pass that, or?
I have to prepare an ordinance to add First and Ritter to the ordinances with regard to four-way stop.
Okay.
So I can have that ready for next town council meeting.
I've heard from people around there, and I'm supportive of doing that, so.
If we could get some of the temporary red lights that just blink so everybody knows it's coming, the yellow lights that sit underneath the sign.
Okay.
Because it's gonna be a problem for a while, he's right.
We'll probably be able to put stop ahead signs as well, you know.
Yeah.
That'd be
halfway
fine.
up there.
Just in the mornings, I'm afraid that people won't
Yep.
look up and see those, and we'll wind up in an issue.
Okay.
That's all I have.
As an example, the speed limit changed crossing 69 on 46, and there's no advertisement really done with that for people to see. And I mean, people didn't know it, and I didn't realize it until I was driving by and said, "Wow, it's down to 45." So
They changed it out here too,
did where?
down to 45. 45 was a lot farther than it used to, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a theory that people go that fast, but they don't.
No.
Yeah. It worked.
Are you saying they go slower?
No,
No.
no,
It's a straight road. They're gonna.
yeah, it's, no.
All right. Any other council? Pam? I say, looking at the dates, I think the last meeting I said I won't be here for February, but it's just the first meeting I'm missing. So load us up on the second meeting if you need full votes. But other than that, for the good of the order, I see nothing else. Meeting is adjourned.